That night, the house was quieter than ever. My sister walked into the living room, tears in her eyes, hands shaking. She said Grandma's necklace was missing. And then, without even hesitating, she looked straight at me and said, "You took it, because you've always been jealous of me." It felt like time stopped. Mom and Dad didn't say a word. They just stared at me, with eyes full of silent judgment, like they had already decided I was guilty. I tried to explain. I swore I didn't take it. But they didn't believe me. And that night, without a single question or apology, they kicked me out of the house. I packed my suitcase. The air was cold. Rain poured as I stood outside, soaked, alone, heartbroken. The same family I had sacrificed everything for had erased me from their lives over a lie. No one knew I was the one paying for my sister's college tuition, the one covering the bills month after month without saying a word. I stayed in the shadows so they could shine. But now, there was nothing left to hide. I left. I stopped all the help. And I waited. 3 weeks later, the calls started. First Mom, then Dad, then even her. Their messages were filled with questions and panic. Why wasn't tuition paid? Why was the electricity cut off? Why was everything falling apart? But me? I didn't answer. Until one day, I opened the door to my new apartment. And there she was, standing in front of me with no makeup, tired eyes, and a face full of regret. I know what I did. But please let me talk. Just once. And me? I just looked at her. What happened next changed everything forever. But before I tell you what happened, let me be clear. Some lies don't just break trust. Some are told to bury something even deeper. And that truth still hasn't been revealed. I thought nothing could surprise me anymore. But I was wrong. About a month after I left home, I realized things were worse than I imagined. That night, my sister was alone in the house. Mom and Dad had gone on a trip, and she had invited her boyfriend over, just for a few hours. But the night turned out to be longer than she expected. They had dinner together. Music was playing. Glasses were filled and emptied over and over. She said it felt calm, maybe even romantic, until he saw the necklace. The necklace. The one I was accused of stealing. Grandma's necklace, now hanging around her neck, without any explanation. Her boyfriend reached out and smiled. "Wow, this is gorgeous. Whose is it? Looks really special." She just laughed and said it was a keepsake. That same night, after he left, the necklace was gone. Not on the table. Not in her jewelry box. Gone, as if it had vanished into thin air. At first, she thought she'd misplaced it. But days later, when she found threatening messages in her chats, messages about private photos and texts, she finally realized the truth. It had all been planned. The necklace was just the beginning. Her boyfriend? He wasn't a partner anymore. He'd become a blackmailer. The one who had stolen the necklace. And now wanted money, or worse. And my sister? The only person who might be able to help her was me. The one she had accused. The one she pushed out of our home. The one who had lost everything over a lie. And now, she was standing at my door. Her eyes weren't just full of regret anymore. There was fear in them. Panic. And a silent plea she couldn't say out loud. But me? I still don't know if I should open the door. Because some doors, once opened, can never be closed again. For a moment, I just stared at her. Her eyes were red, her hands trembling, and every breath she took sounded heavier than the last. Her whole body was screaming for help. And even though my heart was still bruised, I said, "All right. I'll help you. But on my terms." The plan wasn't simple, but it was precise. A few days later, I accidentally met her boyfriend. A mutual friend introduced us. And soon enough, I had his attention. Much easier than I expected. Texts, dates, smiles, and the lies I swallowed with every breath. Every time I was around him, I had to remind myself why I was doing this. Not for my sister. Not even for my grandmother. But for me. To prove I wasn't the person they painted me to be. That night, the opportunity finally came. He was drunk, slumped on the couch, careless. His phone lay unguarded on the table. And the necklace? It sparkled like a trophy right next to it. With trembling hands, I grabbed his phone, forwarded every message and photo to my email. Then I picked up the necklace and slipped it into my coat pocket. As I walked out of his apartment, the world went completely silent. Only one thing echoed in my ears, my heartbeat, pounding like a drum. The next morning, I handed the necklace to my sister. Her eyes welled with tears, but I didn't say much. I just told her, "Don't tell Mom and Dad anything. Just say you found it. And tell them I was innocent." She nodded, whispered a thank you, but it didn't feel like enough. The truth is, I still don't know if I'll ever go back home. I still don't know if people who once chose to turn a blind eye to my truth deserve a second chance. All I know right now is, the necklace is back. But some things we lose may never truly return. Months have passed. The necklace was returned. The truth came to light. But something inside my heart still hasn't found its way back. My sister tried to make up for it with a simple sentence. "I'm sorry. I was wrong." Mom and Dad slowly started calling again, dropping off meals, even showing up at my door. But that house, once my safe place, now felt like nothing more than an old address. Every time they came, I smiled. I opened the door. I poured the tea. But deep down, there was an invisible distance between us. One "no, I'm sorry" could bridge. I still pay some of their bills. I even help with part of my sister's college tuition. Not because I have to, just because I don't want anyone else to feel the kind of pain I did. But I don't sit in that kitchen anymore. Mom's cooking no longer brings me comfort. And somewhere deep inside, I still can't bring myself to go back. Because forgiving is easy. Forgetting, not so much. In the middle of all this, I met someone at a charity event, totally by chance. His name was Daniel. Gentle, grounded, with a smile that seemed to understand the storm inside me. Slowly, he became a part of my life. No pressure. No promises. Just patience. He knew I was hurt. He never asked why. He only said, "When you're ready, I'll be here." He had everything: stability, a good family, a solid career, respect. But what drew me to him most was that he never judged me. Not from my past. Not from my scars. Now, for the first time in a long time, I'm thinking about the future. A fresh life. A new home. Maybe even a wedding. My family doesn't know yet. And I still don't know if I'll invite them. Because some wounds don't disappear with time. They just fade a little. And sometimes, the only way to truly heal is to build a new home. Not far from the past, but no longer trapped in it. Maybe one day I'll forgive completely. Maybe one day, I'll walk through that old front door with a lighter heart. But for now,